Greetings everybody, Mad Matt Wonka here with another episode of Mad Matt's RPG. I'm sorry that it's been so long. Last week was kind of busy for me, and yeah, wasn't very conducive to recording videos, and I didn't really have a lot going on until tonight, where I just got out of an amazing D&D game. In an effort to make our group more awesome at playing D&D, we've been doing something a little bit different than our normal standard type of play. We've been having one-off nights where every player in the group is running a campaign, and not a campaign isn't the right word. It's a one-off, a level 5, 2 encounters, and maybe a little bit of fluff and filler just to get the feel of how to run things. And doing this lets me and Paul, the other DM, have a little bit of time off from running a big epic story, and it also lets everybody else try a bunch of different things, figure out how a lot of different things work, and a lot of fun stuff like that. It also lends well to experimentation, and tonight I tried 2 different types of experimentation. The first thing that I did was I started the game with fiasco type rules. Now, these characters that people had played, nobody had talked to each other about what they had done. We got to the table and learned that there was a paladin, a war priest, and when my friend Paul had heard those, he decided he was going to play as invoker, and then we had a elementalist sorcerer. And none of these people had ever had, none of them had talked about their characters to each other. So what I did in Sly Flourish's The Lazy DM, that he has a chart. I think you can also find it available on his website. That you roll a d20 on, and it sets up a relationship between 2 players. So we had a pair who were adopted siblings, and then a pair who were like ward and protector, and a couple of different things like that. And it made bonds in the party that gave them a basis to start role-playing around. And was it the best role-playing that we've ever had in the group? Nah, there was like holes in it, and there was a lot of backstory that could have been written, but it was great to be able to take characters that hadn't seen the light of day before and throw them together and have a way to just interact with the other players. The other experiment that I did, if you remember 2 weeks ago, I know I don't get views on my videos, so it's fine, but 2 weeks ago I did the Doctor Who Adventures in Time and Space review of that RPG system, and I was gushing over it, and I'm still gushing over it. It's really awesome. I haven't played it. I didn't play that tonight. I played D&D, but I took one of my favorite elements from the Adventures in Time and Space, and I combined it with one of my most hated elements of 4th edition, and made something that I think is pretty awesome. My favorite thing in Adventures in Time and Space is story points, where you can change die rolls and just change how the story flows based on these points that you get. And when you do something noble or, super in character, where karma should be working in your favor, you get some back. And when you do things that are pretty awesome and using up your plot armor and stuff like that, you lose some. And I took that concept, I came up with a couple of different 4th edition rules. Some of it I'm still kind of tweaking, and I combined it with 4th edition's healing surges. Healing surges are weird. And in a lot of our campaigns that we play, they end up just like sitting there on your sheet, because you never, you spend maybe 3 in a night, if you get really, really hurt in combat. And if you're making your character well, you don't get really hurt in combat unless the DM's trying to kill your party through monster. And, so unless you're taking a lot of damage, you still have a ton of healing surges. Like, I was looking through a lot of my characters, everybody on the party had at least 10 to start with, and one person had like 13. And a lot of, that's a lot of healing surges that don't ever get used. And I'm not quite sure, it makes 4th edition really, really hard for your characters to die because you've got this pool of energy. But there's nothing else that really uses it. There's some powers that call upon it to, you spend a healing surge to do this. Well, that's great. I've got, 7 more, and I'm not planning on using any of them. So yeah, that's totally a sacrifice that I'd be willing to make. So what I did is I took the 2 things, that's not the right hand and frame, and I squished them together. And so healing surges were story points. And so you started with whatever your character would start with for healing surges. So 10 for most of the party. And if you were going around and you were trying to be stealthy and you were failing, you could spend a healing surge or a story point to roll an extra d6 and just boost your skills and your attack rolls like that. And it allowed characters to be able to get really, really good. And, the points started whittling down, and there's a couple of rules that I'll have to fix. But being able to go, darn, my awesome plan failed because I missed once, and then spend that extra energy to kick it up a notch and be able to actually do amazing stuff was a lot of fun. And it let us do some really, really cool things. And there's stuff that we didn't get into with the small, short time that I had. The next time that I run, the next time that my name comes up in our circuit of DMing, we'll do a little bit more with it, I think, and refine it a bit more. There was some things that we did kind of weird, and some things that I was trying to include too much, and I don't know. The list of what I did for Healing Surge's story points is down below. It's what I gave to the players. And if you guys try it out, please let me know. If you have any thoughts about it, please leave them down in the comments below. It was a lot of fun. We were able to do some pretty impressive stuff. And with these things, with a party that effectively can't miss because they can boost it as long as they're willing to, take damage and have it stick around later on, I was able to throw bigger things at them than I normally would have. And they were able to take it down just fine. And it made things really, really cool. One of the things that I liked that I did is you could buy back your encounter and daily powers, renew them, spending 1 point for an encounter power, 2 points for daily. Not sure on those numbers because our controller pulled out something that stunned locked my big beast, that if he could just keep doing that again and again, not entirely sold on that. But just how much people let combat and let everything just kind of like, you want to do something extra, spend a healing surge, and we'll let it slide. And it worked really, really well. I really liked it. I would highly recommend it. And if you have any questions for me about it, please leave that down below. Other than that, my name is MadMatt1Cow. This has been Mad Matt's RPG. You guys stay online. I'll see you next time. Peace out.